We met at a bar.
Wrong.
And now, coming to you from the K2 studios in San Diego, California, it's the world-famous Kris and Kristine Show.
Hey, what's happening? I'm Kris.
And I'm Kristine, and welcome to the Kris and Kristine Show's inaugural episode. Do.
Fantastic. That's wonderful. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
Awesome. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the show, Kristine.
So we are going to start off this inaugural episode with telling you a little bit about the two of us. So I'm going to kick it off. So
Okay, go right ahead. Yeah, go right ahead.
Kris and I, we met about a year and 3 months ago. We've been dating
Someone's counting.
We've been dating for that long. And Kris, do you want to tell them how we met?
We met at a bar.
Wrong. Wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, we met on Match.com.
Well, then we actually met on a bar, but we met at Match, but that was kind of like the hey, what's up? But then it went to texting, and then it went to, hey, there's a bar by your place. You want to meet me there one night, get a couple drinks, and there you go.
And then I stepped out of my car, and the world as you knew it before Kristine was over. And you walked into this new glorious chapter of life.
Yes, exactly. Hashtag what she said. That's what I always say. Hashtag what she said. So anyways, we're going to start off this show. Kristine has a few topics, and we're going to try this thing out. It's like our first time doing this. Neither one of us has ever done anything like this before. So okay, Kristine, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so we're going to tackle a bunch of different topics through our podcast. We are coining it as the podcast for everyone. We are going to try and keep it PG.
Of course. Well,
because we have children, and we want them to be able to listen to it.
Oh, that's another thing. We should probably talk about our kids, huh?
Yeah, we're going to talk.
We don't have kids together. Let's put that out there right now.
I mean, unless you count a number of different pictures of turtles, which I count as my children.
Well, sure. And I count my cars as my children, so I guess we got that too.
Well, so we're going to tell you a little bit about, we're going to talk about relationships on here. We're going to talk about life. We're going to cover some hot topics. Kris will take us to the man cave and talk about some men-only topics. But ladies, I would encourage you to listen in because this man is overflowing with words of wisdom.
That's right. Always.
Yep. Always.
So, anyways.
So we're gonna tackle relationship issues because the truth is we both have battled the online dating scene, and so we know the good, the bad,
and the real dating scene too.
And the real dating scene.
Be coy about that.
Right. So we've encountered the good, the bad, and the ugly, and so that'll be woven into our discussions here. But we're gonna start off with talking a little bit about our lives. So Kris, why don't you take it off?
Okay. So here we go. So my name is Kris. And I'm a single father, and I have two boys. Let's see, how old are they? I got the little one and the bigger one. I think the little one, he's, what is he, 7 now?
Yes, he's 7. You know this.
Yeah, Mason. Yeah, he's 7 years old. He's actually in 2nd grade. They just had their first week of school last week. So this is their first official week coming up here. And my older one is...
his name is Jacob.
That's right, Jacob. Yeah, he's Jacob, and he's 9 years old. He's going to be 10 next year. Big 10 years old. It's pretty scary. He's like super responsible, though. You know, he only drives me around when I'm drinking too much, and he's good to go. But he's in 4th grade this year. And I'm a single father, and I've been doing this for a while now. It's a little tricky, and they drive me nuts, but what are you going to do, you know? They're not 18 yet, so I can't kick them out quite yet. But that day is coming. We do have a timer and a clock counting down right now. So,
yeah, Kris jokes a lot, but you should see him. He's a pretty amazing father. It's one of my favorite things to see about him. So... is there anything else you wanted to say about yourself, Kris? Anything about like your line of work or any of your hobbies?
To be concluded.
Okay, well, I'm Kristine, and I'm a single mom to an amazing 14-year-old. His name is Ezekiel, and he just started high school. I really can't believe that I am the parent of a high schooler. I mean, I definitely don't look that old. Am I right, babe? Am I right?
Yeah, of course. You look beautiful.
There was hesitation right there.
Well, I had to grab the microphone. The microphone's way over there. I had
Yeah,
to go
it's that
grab
great.
it.
It's that great anti-aging skincare.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm a single mom to a 14-year-old kiddo, and he is listening, and he's very excited about this. And let's see what else about me. So I'm in education. I've been in education for a lot of years. Like 16. Yeah, 16 years. So
Wow.
yeah, it's a pretty long time, right?
Oh, longer than your kid's been around.
Right. Yeah. That happened right before. And yeah, somewhere around then. So anyway, so so that's just a little bit about me. And I think that it's important that you know these things about Kris and I, that we are parents, that we are single parents, that we are
We're very busy. Both of us have extremely busy schedules, and we're always super, super busy. So getting together to actually do this is taking a lot of prep work and a lot of time. So,
but it's something that we are creating together, which is really exciting.
I know it's just kind of fun figuring this thing out. We're trying to figure this thing out. Like I said, neither one of us are actually like broadcasters or have even really talked into a microphone professionally other than a phone. It doesn't really count, but so I'm trying to figure this thing out as we go. It's like our first episode, so don't give us a break, all right? We're going to figure it out.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us. So when we talk about relationship stuff, just know that we're real people. We have our own struggles, and we don't profess to be experts, but I think that we've walked a journey that allows us to have some insights into lots of different situations that people might face. And so we're going to pull some of those things in. We're going to pull some of the humorous things and maybe some of the hard things from our own relationship that we've walked through that we think might help others.
Perfect. That sounds wonderful and scripted. I love it so much.
Oh my gosh, it was totally not scripted. I just speak that well.
You do. You do. Wonderful.
So next thing that we are going to hop into is our first official foray into hot topics.
What? Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
All right, Kris. So I've got 2 hot topics for you, and these are hot off the presses.
Okay, perfect. Let's go.
Okay, so our first hot topic, Kris. Are you ready for this one?
You know, I was born ready, baby.
So this has been one that's been in the news, but I got this article off of Outreach this morning, and it's about the Impossible Whopper. Have you heard of it?
Like a Burger King, the Whopper, Burger King?
Yeah, the Impossible Whopper, though.
What's so impossible about it?
Yeah, so this one is a meat alternative burger, and it was just rolled out to 7,200 restaurants.
A meatless burger? They're saying there's no meat in it, so it's like lettuce and tomato. It's like a veggie burger?
I think that they said it's something like mung bean or black bean. I'm not quite sure what's in it. I was watching a commercial, like a news story yesterday, and the people were saying that they could not taste the difference from real beef. Now, I know that's kind of hard to believe, but let me give you some other statistics here. So in April of this year, Del Taco, they launched their meatless tacos, and in their first 2 months, they sold 2 million tacos. It was their biggest product launch ever in the history of their company.
Well, their tacos are already pretty cheap. I mean, were these things... Now, here's the thing. The price point on these quote-unquote meatless or meat variety or whatever you want to call it, tacos or burgers, do they cost more or do they cost less than the regular standard ones?
So the cost is not very significant to where it's making people make a different choice. But here's the thing that I found really interesting in this article is that in that news article that was published yesterday by Outreach, they argued that this is the beginning of the end of the beef industry.
What?
And the producer that is behind these alt burgers, or AKA alt beef, their stocks are going through the roof. So it's being projected that this is the beginning of the end of the moo cow hamburger industry. What are your thoughts?
Well, okay, here are my thoughts. First off, I think this is a bunch of vegan voodoo, and I don't think that it's actually hold any water. I mean, I bet you anything, millions of dollars, that I can tell the difference. Anybody can tell the difference between a veggie bean patty and an actual cheeseburger with real meat made from the cow. I bet you can taste the difference. And you got the juices and you got all the flavors. You don't get that with a bean burger.
Well, 26,000 blind taste tests would beg to differ with you.
Yeah, blind taste. They got no taste is what it is.
Okay, now I'm gonna hop in here. Chris is a little bit of the harsh one, but for all of our vegan listeners, we are not offending you. I'm a fan of the alt beef.
Well, I'm sure I have salads too. They're great. I had one today.
But I just was wondering about this whole idea. I mean, I remember back when Oprah had this big debacle that, like, I don't even know exactly what happened. It happened so long ago with the beef industry. But I remember there was this huge outcry from the cattle farmers when there was some comments about, like, the non-health benefits of beef. But I'm wondering why we're not hearing about this. Like, really, can you think of walking into a restaurant and having no real beef options? Like, here's your tofu steak.
Yeah, you know what that restaurant would look like? It would look like an empty building.
Do you think so? I was wondering about this. I was wondering if we actually did have more beef alternatives, if it would actually help the obesity crisis in the United States.
But isn't this stuff fat too? I bet the soybean and all that crap, it's probably like filled with lard and all kinds of fun stuff.
I don't know. I think that we need to do some like Magnum PI investigation. Like, maybe we need to report back to our listeners about the health benefits. But, that's really interesting you say that, because one of my girlfriends and I, we were at a girls' weekend this weekend.
Of course you were.
And we were talking about beef alternatives. We went to some restaurant and we were asking about like a garden burger kind of thing. And so we were asking them if it was actually vegetables or if it was other things. Because like you said, there's all of these other types of ingredients that are put together, give an illusion of healthier food, but it actually isn't. So I wonder, alt beef, is it actually healthier than traditional red meat?
Let me tell you, listen, if the wheel still spins, there's no need to reinvent it.
So you're a fan of the cow?
Well,
you're a fan of red meat?
Yes, definitely. Red meat, cooked meat, however you want to serve it to me.
Caveman eat red meat?
Definitely. I'll club it myself. I have to. That's what comes
Hunter-gatherer, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, beef, whether it's carne asada, that sounds good, or chicken, steak, whatever, fish. I'll eat fish too. Pork, ribs. That's always good. Those things are American staple. They are how we live and how we survive.
Well, we would love to hear from you all out that are our faithful listeners and hopefully soon our subscribers, to let us know what your opinion is on the alt beef dilemma. And maybe even if you've stopped by, or after you listen to this, if you stop by one of those restaurants and you partake of it, we would love for you to do your own blind taste test. Somebody order a regular Whopper and somebody order the Impossible one. Mix it up. Can you tell the difference?
I think there was actually a game about that. Was it Burger King? Or whoever it was? Burger King has the Whopper, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Burger King, one of them was going to have an actual taste test, and they claim, like you said, people can't tell the difference, but come on. I mean,
I don't know. And Burger King, if you're listening out there, we are open to corporate sponsors. And, this is some free press that we're giving you right here. So you can take one for the team and throw some Benjamins our way.
Right.
This is an unpaid advertisement, and this isn't even an advertisement. We really do want your opinion. And maybe that's going to be our date night this week. Maybe we're going to go have an Impossible Whopper.
Sure. I'll try anything once. Anyway, so what's up next, baby?
Okay, so our next topic is, now this is from the Wall Street Journal. So are you ready for this one?
Oh, my favorite book. I always read the Wall Street Journal.
The Wall Street Journal.
That one too. Yeah.
Yep, there you go. So this one's interesting. So this is not in the food industry. This is related to the labor market. So according to the Wall Street Journal this morning, there is a trend that is starting to rise around quote unquote Tinderizing resumes. According to the article, Gen Z job seekers are not only including bios like you would see on a dating profile on their resume, but they're also inserting clip art and even Bitmojis into the resumes, like the logo for our podcast, Bitmojis.
Wait. On their actual resume they send to the boss they want to go work for.
Exactly.
Or the HR department, I guess, so to speak, in this day and world. But so they put a Bitmoji of themselves, like a cartoon picture of themselves. What kind of Bitmoji do they think they would actually use for that?
I don't know. You know, we went through a lot of them when we were choosing the logo for our podcast. Like, do you think it's the one with like the coffee cup with a heart on the front of it, or do you think it's that, the girl?
I was thinking maybe the one of where the guy's like half asleep and he's trying to get out of bed and he's like, need coffee. like this is me right now, but when I get you to work, I'll be the guy that's like jumping out the window all like, yeah, I'm ready to roll.
I love
or the
that
guy
one.
with coffee or too much coffee. It's like, this is me before, this is me after. Do they actually send pictures too with their
Yeah,
thing?
they actually, so I saw a sample of these resumes during my research for this podcast today. I was looking through some of the samples that they linked into the article, and there's this one of a guy, and it's like a professional headshot, and then underneath it's like, enjoys walks on the beach, hiking, rappelling, creative, innovative.
This is his resume, right?
His resume. This is, like I said, it's Tinderizing.
Was this like for like a like, was he like shoot like a job for like a freelance photographer or anything like that?
No, it's not like we're watching House Hunters.
Oh, I love that show, by the way. I love that show about how like the couple is like a freelance basket weaver on the beach, and the mother, by the way, they have like 3 dogs, and their price range is like $2 million, and you know they're
right. This is like not that kind of a job. These are people that are going for corporate positions. The guy that I was looking at was going for something in a corporate field, and one of the skills that he noted was creativity and innovation, such as the creation of this resume on Adobe Photoshop.
Wow, that's impressive. You know,
Right.
I'd hire him in a heartbeat.
Right. Yeah. The fact that he can actually create a resume. So, I mean, the language that's starting to be infused into these resumes is more in alignment with what you would see in those snippets on the swipe right, swipe left kind of dating apps. And so one of the things is that when these Gen Zers were asked why they were doing it, the resume writer said this is their only way to stand out from other candidates. Now, I really want your opinion on this.
Actually not having talent for the job, that's not standing out?
I see, that's what it just kind of threw me for a loop, because it was, do you have to have something like a logo, a mascot, a Bitmoji really for your resume to stand apart? What happened to the good old days? Put a single page resume with some great experience, get called for an interview, and that was enough. Why do we have to be so flashy?
Well, I think in the world of Instagram, in the world of Facebook, in the world of getting the perfect selfie, in the world of what's that with the the one that puts little flowers on your head?
Oh, Snapchat.
Snapchat. I can't think about that. Is Snapchat still around? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing, and people are still putting all the filters, and that's what this article was saying, is it's Instagramming and Tinderizing your resumes. And I'm just wondering, like, how would you handle that, Kris, if you were the hiring entity?
Let me tell you what I would do with that resume. Let me tell you what I would do with the resume. Okay, if I saw a resume that was bedazzled and it had like pictures of ponies and themselves riding a unicorn and talking about walks on the beach and how they miss their ex-boyfriend so much. You know what? That would go straight to the bottom of the pile.
You know what it makes me think of? It actually makes me think of that the person might have been watching one too many reruns of Legally Blonde. Like when Elle Woods hands her pink scented resume. Yeah, it's like the pink scented resume that she hands to the law professor for her law internship. And it's like, oh, it's scented and it's pink. No, ladies and gentlemen, we have to rescue the resume. This is Kristine's personal campaign to rescue the resume. Put the Bitmojis down. Save them for your text messages. Lady, you don't need it, honey. Honey.
And also to all of you millennials out there that think you can graduate and be CEO day one, good luck.
Okay. No, we're not trying to bash on any specific generation here. We really aren't.
Of course we're not.
We just
wink, wink.
Wink, wink. We just we have a lot of conversations around just like the current approaches to trying to secure jobs and a kind of an entitlement mentality. And I'm wondering if the resume kind of goes into that, like you have to notice me or kind of attention seeking. Maybe it's selfie culture.
Well,
I don't know.
I do realize there are a ton of people out there looking at the market right now for jobs, and a resume might get tough. You know, I mean, how many beach basket weavers can there possibly be? You know, I mean, that want $300,000 a year to do it. I don't know. You
know what I would really love is if somebody would send me, and of course black out the names and any identifying characteristics. I would love to see some of these like Instagrammy, Tindery, Bitmoji resumes. You can send them to us. We'll be, when we publish this, we'll be linking our new Kris and Kristine Show Gmail account so that you can send us some of these samples. Don't send us hate mail. We don't want to hear it. Pam, Sheila, don't DM us. Who? Karen, all these people.
I didn't even know her. Okay, baby. So what's happening next? What do you got?
All right. Well, those were some very hot topics, but the next one comes to you straight from Chris's 9-year-old son, Jacob, who helped us out with our inaugural edition of Would You Rather.
Would you rather?
Would you rather? Okay. We're going to play Would You Rather. All right, okay. Kris?
Yeah.
Now, this one is from Jacob, and he would like to know,
okay,
would you rather be a famous YouTuber or live in a mansion?
I think I'd rather live in a mansion.
Why?
Because YouTube thing, is that thing still around? Is that just a fad? And mansions are solid brick buildings. They're not going anywhere unless an earthquake maybe. But a YouTube star, I mean, those guys got like a flash in the pan. You know, they're like, boom, and then what now? But a mansion, hey, if you actually, now, do I actually own this mansion right out? Do I have to pay taxes on this?
I don't know. That's a good question. But I'm kind of wondering now about this YouTuber thing, since you kind of hit on that. Are there any YouTubers that have made it big on YouTube and then crossed over to make it big on like movies or television?
No, but I think there was one that was on like Dances with the Stars.
Okay.
You know, that's where they get their pool of people. It's like YouTube stars.
You're on a roll today.
Washed out athletes. Second B-rated reality stars.
Wow, can you sense the disdain from Kris? Wow, it's just dripping tonight on a Sunday night.
Well, it's dripping because it's so hot. You know, it's like 10,000 degrees in here.
10,000 degrees of heck in San Diego.
All right, what else you got? Anything else?
All right, so you would rather live in a mansion? Yes.
Yes, of course. I would like to live in the coolest house in the world. Yes, that would be.
And what's the one thing that you would have to have in your mansion?
Oh, gosh. The one thing I'd have, definitely a couch, maybe a bed, it's a place to sleep, you know.
Otherwise, just sleep on the ground.
And a refrigerator, maybe an oven, too. I'm, like, building the house right now. I think that, the basic stuff. I mean, I don't need, like, a basketball court or anything like that. Oh, but I do want a cool garage.
Yeah, with 5 Ferraris.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I would want, like, I want, like, the garage that had have, like, the, they're all car show parked in the garage. Just perfectly aligned, perfectly detailed. They got the little velvet ropes around each one.
Yeah.
And they have, like, little placard, like, where it came from and how much it's worth and how fast can it go. You know, and a picture of me, of course, driving it, or at least standing next to it.
And your own personal podcast studio. right?
Definitely. That.
Right.
I mean, this studio is legit.
Yeah.
I mean, who afforded this place?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
The K2 studios are lit, people. The K2 studios.
I mean, this place is amazing. I mean, the budget quality for this place is unbelievable.
It must be all of those corporate sponsors that we have knocking at our door.
Oh, I know. I mean, gosh, I can't mention any of them right now, but someday.
Yeah, someday we'll list them for you. Well, everybody, we just want to thank you. This has been so much fun launching our first episode.
Definitely. And thank you so much for listening. And I am Kris.
And I'm Kristine. And until next week,
keep moving forward, baby.